what are your thoughts? Here we are on this kind of monumental day in the state of Oregon as things reopen. And for vaccinated people, you can safely go out and see a world that resembles, for the most part, the one that we left about 15 months ago when things went into utter lockdown. We decided the best way to start telling this story tonight would be to get out in the streets. So we are out here in front of Belmont Station, which is in southeast Portland. We want to head inside and talk to the owner a little bit about what this feels like. It's interesting, this little, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but this little block right here, you can see the tape outline. That used to be one of those pictures that said you have to wear your mask inside, and she took it down earlier today. So come on in. Lisa Morrison, thank you so much for letting us come in here and talk to you about this. I want to know how you feel. I mean, here we are at the end of a very long road. Mm-hmm. I can imagine it's exciting, but there are probably some mixed emotions there in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, it's super exciting. We finally made it. We're at 100%.
Stressful at all?
Nerve-wracking. Completely nerve-wracking. I mean, just the mere fact that we're actually seeing full faces again.
Right.
And just those awkward things of, do we shake hands, do we not, do we hug, whatever. It's trying to figure out how to get back into society.
How are you handling the mask policy? Because I know you took the sign down, mm-hmm. but there are still a lot of people who feel more comfortable in a mask. I'm sure some of your employees do.
Absolutely. I did have mine around my neck. A lot of our employees are wearing theirs, and we encourage anybody who wants to wear a mask when they come in to please wear a mask. We also are asking people to be very patient and make sure that, we respect everybody's wishes.
How tough has a year been? Year and a half.
I'm not going to lie, it's been pretty tough.
Right,
yeah.
okay. Easy. I knew the answer to that one already. But, as you look forward, everything's not suddenly easy now.
No, not at all. I mean, we still have a lot of, we were lucky. We were able to retain a lot of our employees. We're pretty fully staffed. We've got a new person coming on next week. We've been very lucky to be able to get people hired, but I know that, and we've been also lucky to be able to work with our landlord and have some things like that. So,
what are the unknowns?
What about that Delta variant? What about any other, what if people start bringing in the virus to our community? We've done so much here to try to make sure that our community here is very safe. We did curbside pickup only in the bottle shop for months and months. We had huge restrictions here in the bar, and to have it all just suddenly just disappear, even though we were expecting it and anticipating it and really looking forward to it, it's just kind of like, wow, here it is.
some cautious excitement though today.
Cautious excitement, cautious optimism. Yeah, definitely.
Well, Lisa, thank you so much for letting us in here, mask free. You're right. It feels a little strange, but I think people are going to. Yeah, it's a good strange. I think people are going to get used to it, but it's going to be different for a lot of folks starting today. And to give you an idea of kind of what is going to change, what you can expect out there, let's talk to our reporter, Pat Dooris.
We have some really good questions tonight, so let's dive into them. Christy wants to know, are some businesses still keeping mask policies? And if they are, is there somewhere to go see who is? Sorry, Christy, great question, but the answer is I don't know. I've not heard of anybody continuing the mask policy, but every individual business does have the choice to do that. So I think the best way you're going to find out is when you go to your favorite small shop or grocery store. We do know the big grocers are dropping the mask mandate. So Freddy, Safeway, Albertsons, New Seasons, Whole Foods, I think as well. But we don't have an exhaustive list of that. So that's what I know about that. Michael wants to know, are masks finally going to be stopped being required at schools? Don't know. And the reason why is because that decision is going to be made probably in the early fall before school gets going, and it will be a district by district and maybe even school by school decision on that. So there's still going to be some COVID protocols for that, but it's unclear exactly what they are yet, so stay tuned. It's a great question, though. Also, Lorna wants to know, in healthcare, no mask mandates lifted yet. And you're probably not going to see the mask mandates lifted for some time in healthcare because, that's where the sick people go, and that's where the unhealthy germs are circulating. So it wouldn't surprise me if it's quite a while before the mask mandates are lifted for healthcare. And of course, they're still required on public transportation and in airports, places like that. Thanks for the question, gang. Keep them coming. Love them.
Now, there may be no story that embodies the relief of reopening, the joy of reopening, and the pain and suffering it took businesses to get to this point more than the story Laural Porter is about to tell us. Laural,
Hey, Dan.
hi, fancy meeting you here.
Are you buying?
Yes, bartender.
Couple of beers?
So you talked to the beloved, iconic Enchanted Forest,
Oh, there's no place like it.
and they have had, of anyone who has really felt this past 15 months, it is them. Not just the pandemic, but pretty much everything that the year and a half had to offer.
So the pandemic, deadly wildfires, which really took a toll on the family, and then the ice storm. You might say the year for the Enchanted Forest was bewitched. They almost didn't make it, Dan. They really didn't. They thought they might have to close for good. But thanks to the perseverance of Roger Tofty, the park's creator, and 3 generations of his family, and the love and support of the community, they're back open today, full time, and ready to celebrate their 50th year.
Humpty Dumpty sits on a sign. Just off I-5 south of Salem, Oregon. His smile beckoning passers-by into the Enchanted Forest, home to fairy tales and nursery rhymes.
Yeah, it kind of typifies the Willamette Valley, I think. As natural as you can get for an amusement park.
While inside, the park's creator, 91-year-old Roger Tofty, is busy outrunning near impossible odds.
Oh, boy.
Patching problems
Yeah.
and working hard to keep his dream alive.
Been at it more than 50 years? Just doing my thing.
Geared up like a superhero ready to take on the latest villain to stalk this storybook land.
Yeah, we're still trying to recover. Kind of depressing.
This is where a lot of damage was done.
The February ice storm was punishing, bringing down hundreds of trees.
Those branches coming straight down like a spear, and it just cuts through it like butter. Yeah, the whole top of that tree fell down.
Roger's daughter,
Yeah,
Susan,
and it all fell this way.
co-manages the business side of
So
things.
those trees fell straight down this path and just smashed through the kiddie train. The kiddie train is no longer right now.
Up to $1 million in damage, splintering plans for its COVID-limited season opening.
There's something that hasn't been repaired yet.
But then Roger's had tougher foes.
Yeah. Yeah. How's the Idiot Hill doing? Or how's the Funny Farm doing?
When this father of 4 bought 20 acres in 1964, thick with trees and bushes on a steep hill off the highway, to many, his dream seemed, well, like a fairy tale.
Did anybody ever say, he was crazy?
Oh, definitely. Definitely they said he was crazy.
He'd thought about being an illustrator for Saturday Evening Post. Instead, turned his drawings into sculptures. With a vision, a lot of the cars whizzing by would stop for a roadside amusement park.
When I first started, it was all brush through here, so I just crawled on my hands and knees and kind of imagined where the trail would go.
Roger cleared the brush, then handcrafted, sculpted, and painted each feature.
Yeah, the first thing I made was a pumpkin.
Humpty Dumpty on his wall.
He fell down.
Roger had to repair him a few years ago when some park visitors sat on it.
Yeah.
The crooked man in his crooked house.
The old woman in the shoe, good memories.
Daughter Mary, who manages the park with Susan, wasn't even in school yet, but she remembers.
When we were kids, she used to be in our backyard before this was even open.
And then after 3 years, I got thinking, man, I wonder if I should keep going. But then I thought, well, I've gone this far, I might as well just keep plugging away.
And he did, for 7 years. The park opened in August of 1971.
Yeah, it's a constant deal just to keep everything up.
50 years later,
Boy.
his work's still not done.
I'm the mayor, the sheriff, and the commissioner.
But even the
Yeah.
marshal of Toftyville, on his trusty steed, couldn't stop the year that brought COVID.
Yeah, there is no year like this.
The pandemic shut the park down, and with only a 6-month season,
We knew financially we were in big trouble.
That's the biggest problem with running a park like this. It's all the things that could happen.
And in this kingdom, where Roger's iconic witch was the most wicked thing around, something even worse was on the horizon.
In the midst of the whole pandemic, all of a sudden this happens.
There's fire on both sides of the road.
In September, wind-whipped flames roared out of the mountains and down the canyon.
We were in our park trying to get things out that were really important. We saved, important hard drives, Dad's artwork, Dad's plans, things like that.
While the fire didn't end up touching the park, it did scorch its soul.
6 o'clock in the morning, I get a phone call from Dad saying that Wyatt and Peggy have died in the fires. And I just couldn't believe it.
So we've had a tough year.
Roger's great-grandson Wyatt and his dog Duke died trying to save his grandmother as they tried to escape the fire in Gates in the Santiam Canyon.
Peggy and Wyatt were the sweetest, most wonderful people you would ever want to meet. And just losing them is just heartbreaking.
Yeah, they're redoing quite a bit of the castle.
But just as in fairy tales, when evil forces are conquered by good, there's magic in the Enchanted Forest.
We started the GoFundMe, and the next morning, it was amazing.
Within days, the community rallied around the park and family. 2 separate GoFundMes raised nearly $800,000.
It is truly a magical feeling.
It's kind of unbelievable all the support we have.
And the cobblestone street of the park's English village is paved with that love.
They really get to express themselves in these bricks.
Hundreds of park goers bought bricks.
Yeah, great memories, laughter, fun, magical,
to help keep the park afloat.
It's just like they're all so personal. I just think they're beautiful.
The people stop me and thank me for doing it, so it's just kind of rewarding.
And Roger wasn't about to let them down.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. He always says,
quitter never wins and a winner never quits.
And that's exactly the philosophy of our family.
But there was one more obstacle. The family received threats when they announced proof of vaccination would be required for park entrance. So they waited for COVID restrictions to ease.
Yeah, there for a while we didn't think they were going to open back up.
Before welcoming eagerly awaiting guests.
Yeah, we're excited.
Oh, we were, terrified that, they wouldn't make it.
We see people lined up.
Then,
let's see, they'll open it pretty soon.
8 months after the Enchanted Forest closed.
We can open the gate, I think.
Yes, so exciting.
The big day arrives.
Yeah.
And a new chapter in this storybook begins.
Are you going to have a lot of fun? Yeah! Oh, good, good.
Eleni Marshman and her daughter Joanna.
Thank you very much for the support.
Are excited to share the enchantment.
There's one.
With granddaughter Stella.
Stella, do you see your name anywhere?
And show her their brick.
I think it's right here.
That helps save the park.
There it is. That's so cool. Our names are here forever.
And so are the names of Wyatt Tofty.
Oh, right here?
And his grandmother Peggy.
Right here.
Who died in the wildfires.
It means a lot to us, something that'll be here for a long time.
And just above their memorial,
really appreciate all that they've done.
A plaque thanking the community for supporting the family and helping the park reopen for its 50th year.
Brings out the best in people.
You ready? More and more families will get to come and enjoy it, and that it won't, this dream that Mr. Tofty had, it won't die.
Humpty Dumpty, right here.
Like Humpty Dumpty. This park had a great fall.
Yeah, that's a long haul.
Yeah.
But Roger, his family, and those who loved them did what all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't. They put it together again.
This is so cool.
Came together pretty good.
So the dream Roger Tofty built may continue to enchant for generations to come.
That's real special.
I don't know where to start with that story, with the man on his moped at 91 years old zooming around, and the fact that he was down on his hands and knees filling the cracks in the pavement.
Amazing, isn't he?
But I think more than anything, that story made me want to go and to take my family, which is probably what they wanted the most.
You have to take your boys. It's a one-of-a-kind place, and they're open every day now from 10:30 to 5. The kiddie train's not fixed yet. They also don't have the all-day ride bracelets yet, and the food options are limited because they're still, like a lot of businesses, trying to get up to full staff. But they're open and they're ready for you to come visit.
What about the timing of this? I mean, after this year and now the opening again and today, which is such a big day for the state, but for it to be their 50th year is pretty remarkable.
Isn't that something? That's going to be August 8th, and they're going to have a cake cutting. Roger and his family, all the generations of family will be out answering questions. So it will be a big day of celebration. And also, we should let you know you can still buy a brick if you want to. So get a brick for your family and be a part of the park, hopefully for another 50 years.
Thanks, Laural.
Thank you.